The interviewee is William Busacker, who served in the Army Air Corps in the 1940s. The interview is taking place in Slingerlands on Saturday, September 12th, 2015. I'm Bill's daughter, Asta Edelman. Dad, where and when were you born?
10/5/18.
And
1918, that is.
Yes, and where was that?
Utica, New York.
What was your pre-war education?
I had a BA and an MA.
And where did you get the BA?
Albany. Yes, SUNY Albany.
Right. And that was called the Teachers College then?
New York State College for Teachers.
Okay. And where did you get your MS?
I don't think it was an MS. I think it was an MA, and I got that at Albany too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How did you learn about Pearl Harbor?
I think we were. I was teaching at Andes, New York, and my wife and I were riding with a couple who also taught. He taught at the school, and we were on in a ride to one of the reservoirs in the area, and it came over the radio and television in the car.
What was your reaction? Do you remember how everybody reacted at that point?
Oh, it was hard to believe, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Ask you a couple more questions, more specific to where you were and what you were doing when you were a meteorologist and instructor. You were in various places throughout the United States.
Yeah, well, I took my coursework at
Was that when you were in Michigan?
Grand Rapids, Michigan, I guess.
Right. And from there, you got sent to
California.
California, and that you were an instructor there.
Well, I went to Santa Ana for about 3 or 4 days, and I got transferred up to Lemoore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lemoore Air Force Base.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And while you were there, you were an instructor.
Yeah, I was an instructor. I was instructing pilots and navigators and weather.
Well, weather was pretty important back then, wasn't it? I mean, for the pilots.
Yeah, it was important, but it was important for the meteorologists too. Several of whom ended up committing suicide when they made predictions that were wrong.
Mm-hmm. You kept in touch with some of these people as they went out in the field. Mm-hmm. Where did some of your navigators and meteorologists end up? I mean, were they? I mean, obviously in Europe, but or.
Oh yeah, some in Europe, but some in the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. Now, after you left Lemoore Air Force Base, I know you went to a few other places in the United States.
All of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from Lemoore to Marfa, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And from there to Kingman, Arizona.
And you're
And from there to Chinook Field in Illinois, I guess it was.
oh, in each of those places you were an instructor, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, what were some of your general duties? I mean, did you have like classes every day, or?
Yeah, well, all the all of the pilot and navigator trainees at the bases had to take the courses.
Oh, let's see. What was daily life like? Like you know, get up in the morning. Did you actually have the bugle song? And no.
No. If we had it, I don't remember it.
Right. Did you have like mess halls like they had on MASH, or? Well, you were an officer,
Yeah.
so your life was probably different than privates, right?
No. Oh, we did eat in mess halls, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mess halls.
Right. How were some of the officers you worked with?
About
How were some of the officers that you worked with?
how are they?
Yeah, and the other people, your colleagues.
Well, a lot of them were the same as I was a former high school science teacher.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
They got in it the same way that I did.
Which was?
Heard about it. I heard about it from my mother, who was secretary in a school where they had announced that the Air Force needed people with those backgrounds.
Oh, with a science background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people volunteered back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was
Well,
it?
You volunteer because you figured you'd be drafted if you didn't.
Right. Now, what is the funniest thing you experienced during your service?
Oh, I think the time I applied for a transfer to one of the islands out in the Pacific and was told that, it was several months later, I hadn't heard anything about my application.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in touch with the office at the base where I was then, and was told that I had been in the hospital for 3 months or something like that. And that's why I hadn't heard.
Didn't get in the Pacific. Wow. Wow. Must have mixed you up with another Busacker. Wow. What was one of the most inspiring things that happened to you? Like somebody who, or something you thought was inspiring?
Well, something I thought was interesting was the fact that one of my friends who was a pilot instructor on B-29s and B-17s and B-29s applied for a job with a commercial airline after he got out of the service and was told that he was too short to be a pilot.
Well, that's kind of humorous too.
And he'd been teaching people in the biggest
Arena, yeah.
biggest plane we had.
Wow. Is there a person that you remember best from your service?
Oh, maybe he's the guy.
Mm-hmm. That pilot?
Yeah.
Who was that, Dad?
He was from Montana, and his wife was from California.
Oh, was that Mr. Carlson?
Carlson's, yeah.
Yeah. And you were friends for many, many years after the war. Yeah. He went back to his farm, didn't he? Afterward. Because I know we went and visited
Oh,
him
yeah.
out in Montana. Yeah. I mean, before he retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big farm.
Yeah,
Wheat farm, you said?
yeah, that's, yeah, they got paid for not raising crops because there was an abundance of wheat. They didn't need it.
Now, getting back to your experiences as an instructor, were anything leave an impression on you or impact from?
Oh, not really.
Mhm. Did you have any unusual services that were required during your time in service? Anything besides?
When they told me I was supposed to fly through thunderstorms and hurricanes and stuff like that, I asked whether I would get flight pay, and I was told no.
Did you do it?
No.
Ooh, you were lucky. Let me see. When you, how did you keep in touch with your family when you were stationed throughout the war?
Well, my family went with me to Grand Rapids and then to California and then to Texas. And then they came home for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did your mom and daughter rejoin you then?
they did in, where the hell was it? Chinookville, I guess.
And then they came back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What was the food like?
food.
Do you remember?
Got a lot of milk.
Milk?
Yeah.
How did you feel about the use of the atomic bomb?
I guess I felt the way most people felt about it, but it was necessary.
At that time. And how'd you learn about VJ Day?
Yeah.
We're at the at the very end of the war.
VJ. I guess relieved that it was over.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were?
When VJ had.
Or VE Day, I guess it was, right?
Yeah,
It was VE Day.
Europe was before Japan.
Yeah, it was Japan and then Europe.
No,
No.
Europe
Oh,
was
is it?
before Japan.
Okay.
That was over.
I just had the questions in different order. What were some of your social activities during the war? Did you have any fun things that you got to do?
Oh, I played trombone with a
Trombone.
visiting band that
Oh,
appeared at one of the bases I was at.
well, that's fun. How did you cope with shortages and rationing and all of that? That was
How do I support rationing?
well. Were you affected by that, or was that more the family at home that had the rationing because you were eating in the mess halls?
Well, food I had no problem with,
Mm-hmm.
and my family had problems with food.
food and coffee
and stuff like that.
Right. And what ways did the war change your daily life? Well,
you never knew where you were going to be the next day.
right. Let me just see if there's anything else I have. Oh, after you came back from the war, you had various jobs. I think you went back to school, right? The
Yeah.
GI Bill was
Yeah.
when, yeah. You did your PhD work at Syracuse.
Yeah. AB.
T.
All
All
my-
but thesis. Yeah, you got all the coursework done. And then you had various jobs too. You were a guidance counselor.
Guidance counselor.
And then from there you became, was it assistant superintendent or were you principal first?
No, assistant district superintendent. And finally district superintendent in charge of the BOCES for Clark County.
Yeah. Now, did you ever attend any reunions for your with veterans?
Yeah, I went back to, where the hell was it? Kingman, Arizona, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the only time I remember
Okay.
going back.
And then you also, you were in the reserves
Oh, the reserve, yeah.
through the 50s, right?
Yeah. Until I got called back in Korea, and then I got out.
Well, your district didn't want you to leave, right?
No.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Anything else you can think of that you wanted to share?
No, it wasn't the most interesting part of my life.
Mm-hmm. What was more interesting? Well, the job that you had afterward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.